Pickled punks. Okay. What do I do now, Google? Why are you not telling me? If you trick the guy and then look at the egg shelf. Okay, well I did that, but something else is supposed to happen. And I hate these stupid walkthroughs. Why are these walkthroughs not actually helpful? Ugh. That's the whole point of a walkthrough, is to actually help people. Ugh. Almost as if there was something hatching. Okay. I don't know. I don't get it. Why aren't these walkthroughs helping me? That's the whole point of a walkthrough. Why? I just wanna... Explore everything carefully. Barnaby Bob won't bother to start the show until he has a good reason. Can you just fucking tell me? Fuck these stupid... Alright, it's fine. Fine. Alright, trigger dialogue about the mirrors not being just tricks of light. Trigger dialogues with the balloon guy by buying a balloon. Talking to him on both sides of the circus, calling out his story of two clowns with the same paint by looking at the egg dialogue in the freak show. Ask questions to all the freaks and ask them all the follow-up questions. Reddit. Here we go. West of Loathing guide to the clown. Oh my god, thank god. Why can't this just be easier? Ugh. Okay, we need to inspect the sideshow mirrors as well. Why can't this just be easy? Ugh. Alright, okay, we inspected the mirrors. You look in the mirror again, and the clown, you is still there staring. Very slowly, his mouth opens up a wide grin, revealing multiple rows of yellow, pointed shark-like teeth. Not wanting- No, wait, what? Why did you click away? Ah, dang it, I looked away. Aren't they a riot? I'm 100% sure that what I saw can't be explained by the reflection of light. No telling what you might see if you look too long. Alright. Okay then. With the first clown kiosk. Oh, so that's how we get the bottle cap, which I would have never guessed in a million years without the help of a walkthrough. Alright. Okay, sure. Lucky bottle cap. Here you're in luck. Alright then. Let's take the shiny bottle cap on a little metal chain. What'd you lose? My bottle of smelling salt. Alright then. I'd like to see it again. My pocket knife, please. Yes, we will get a folding pocket knife. Alrighty then. Lovely. My handkerchief. Alrighty then, we just robbed that guy blind, but it's okay. Got some smelling salt and we got a hanky, which is good to see. Alrighty then, thank God, okay. Alrighty then. Okay, I need... Where? Who do I need to talk to? You. Alright, no problem, kid. Okay, so what's the next thing? So we get the ticket to the main show. You need to win one of those games, get into the sideshow, inspect the eggs, inspect the sideshow mirrors, get the truth from the clowns. Alrighty then, so I can just talk to the clowns straight up now. Alright. What can you tell me? They're in a traditional, clown thing. Why you tell me the truth? What are these things in the jar? Do I have to distract him again? This is annoying! It's so annoying! Ugh. This is so annoying. I don't get what I'm supposed to do. God, I wish these walkthroughs were better created. I really wish these walkthroughs were better created. Yep, these walkthroughs are not helping me at all. Maybe I talk to you? No, I do not talk to you. Do I talk to the balloon guy? Who do I talk to? The game doesn't, these stupid walkthroughs aren't helpful. No, we already talked to you. Can I just go into the main stage yet? Can I talk to you? Alright, finally. Okay, good. We've actually activated enough stuff to get the Easter egg. Okay, ticket please. Ticket for what? Barnaby Bob's Stunt Spectacular. Alright. The boss does a show, yes? Yeah, what kind of show? Knife tricks mostly. Okay, here's my ticket. It'll start soon, go in. Cool. Alright then. Let's go ahead and have a seat. You take a seat and a smattering of other two Patreons appear and sit down as well. After a minute or two, there's a crash of chain bells and a clown runs in from the backstage curtain and jumps up onto the stage. In contrast to the other clown's colorful clothing, this is relatively simple. Black wool trousers and a bright crimson shirt under a pale tan leather jacket with fringe on the sleeves and a red heart painted on the shoulder. His face paint is plain. When did I start ABDL? I started ABDL when I was like, I would like to say like 13 years old, so about when I got into puberty. It started off when I was like 12 and a half, and I got into what was called omashi, which is basically a pissing pants sort of fetish. And then I realized that that's too much work to clean up and stuff, and I realized that the diapers thing was kind of a little bit more easier to deal with. So yeah, that's how I got into the whole ABDL stuff. Yeah. When I started buying padding, the first time I bought one was a pack of Depends when I was like 15, and I had to hide them from my father. Then I started to live with my mom, and about like 16 years old, I started living with my mom. I eventually came out to her fully about ABDL. She accepted me and stuff, and I started being a 24/7. Okay, so that's basically my story there. All right. Anyway, though, okay, his face paint is plain white without any color accents, contrasting his curled black mustache and thin goatee. A snappy silk top hat with a rakish tilt tops off his outfit. He doffs his hat and bows with a deep theatrical flourish, and the small audience claps politely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and welcome one and all to Barnaby Bob's Perfectly Normal Traveling Circus Sideshow. I hope you've been enjoying the attractions and distractions of our little traveling carnival. And now it's time for our star performance. The main attractions, ladies and gents, put your hands together for a loud drum roll starts as he gestures the curtain, and then the chain bells crash again. The clown puts his hat back on with a chuckle. Me, Barnaby Bob. Alright then. Much obliged, you're far too kind. Why, I wouldn't even shown you anything yet. With a laugh, he flips a large bow tie knife into the air. You didn't even see where he flipped it up. The knife glitters as it spins. He catches it and flips it in the air again, this time catching and bouncing it on its point, on the tip of one finger. He holds that pose very still for a moment, then jerks his hand out of the way. The knife thunks into the wood of the stage floor deep enough that he has to give it a jerk from side to side before he can yank his blade free. He winks broadly to the audience. Wouldn't be any fun if they weren't as sharp, would it, ladies and gents? He pulls 2 more knives from his jacket and begins a flashy and elaborate knife juggling throw. 3 spinning blades somehow turn into 4, and then his hat is added into the mix, floating lightly with the cascade of knives without a single stretch. He finishes the routine by catching 2 of the knives in each hand and allowing his hat to fall neatly to the ground before catching it on the tip of his boot and kicking it back into the air onto the top of his hat. Well, now there's some applause I believe I've earned. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it took a lot of hats to get to where I am today. He chuckles as he adjusts his hat back to its normal rakish tilt. Now for the grand finale. For this, I'll need a volunteer from the audience. A few hands go up. Barnaby Bob ignores them and looks directly about you. How about you, sir? Okay. Good. I like a brave one. Step right up onto the stage here. Your name, please? Pad McSlinger. It's a real pleasure to finally meet you. Pad Sneaky McSlinger. Step up onto the stage. A couple of clowns haul a large wooden panel about 7 feet tall and 4 feet wide up onto the stage. They stand it up vertically behind you and stay there, holding it steadily. It has 2 holes in it slightly above waist level and a lot of knife marks. Place your back flat up against the wood, please, and put your hands through the holes. Yeah, I hated the time around puberty as well. What really sucked is I used to live with my father for a while, who I couldn't really come out to him at all about like being transgender or anything. And eventually I did start living with my moms, which was kind of useful because they don't really mind that I'm ABDL and stuff. They really don't mind it at all, which is kind of nice. You do so. The holes are just a fraction too high, so it's not very comfortable. And then one of the clowns pulls your arms back together and ties them together with a rough hemp, so it becomes much more uncomfortable for a variety of reasons. Don't worry, this is just to make sure we don't want any sudden unexpected movements. We wouldn't want that, would we? Fret not, everything's under control. He steps up close to you and adjusts your collar, brushes a little dust off your shoulders. My control, you know, Pad. We got a sharp customer through here from time to time, but my, you're the sharpest I've seen yet. However, I bet a shiny silver dollar I've got something up in my sleeves that's even sharper. His pupils narrow to the vertical slits as he grins at you, revealing rows of pointed yellow shark teeth. As he turns away, you can hear that the hearting on the shoulder of his leather jacket is drawn with an arrow through it, and the word "mom" is it doesn't look painted on. Free your hands. You struggle a little, but your arms are too tightly bound. The rough hemp digs into your wrist. Barnaby Bob strolls to the other end of the stage and turns to face you. Now, don't you worry, this will be all over soon. Just don't move. He has a knife in his hands again and gives it a few twirls and flips. Light reflected from the blade glitters in his eyes. Then without worrying, he hurls it at you. Thunk, the knife hits the wood before you can blink. A hair is up beneath from the left ear. Stare him down. Barnaby grins at you as the crowd applauds. Another knife appears in one hand and an apple in the other. He tosses the apple to one of the stagehand, who carefully balances it on top of your... No, my mom was okay with it. I just said that like, okay. My mom was okay, my father was the one who I couldn't come out to. My mother, on the other hand, was perfectly accepting towards my ABDL side, my transgender side, and all of that jazz, okay? Yeah. Time for the old William Tell routine. A bit of a cliche, perhaps, but there's a reason it's a classic, eh, ladies and gentlemen? Take a deep breath. The clown watches with rapt attention as he flourishes the knife, spinning it and flipping it behind his back, then faster. Then you can register. Twonk. Good apple juice dribbles into your hair and down the back of your neck. 2 for 2. What do you say, Pad? Shall we go for one more? Isn't he a good sport, fellas? Barnaby Bob pulls out another knife and gives a quick stopping across the pale leather sleeve of his jacket, then whips a colorful spotted handkerchief from his pocket and blindfolds himself. This time his smile is much colder. I advise you to watch carefully, Patty McSlinger, since you're the only one of us who can. The crowd laughs, but you don't really hear it. The knife spins in his hand, this time either moving because of the adrenaline or because he's actually moving slower. You can see the motion of his arms as he tosses it. He twists his arms in an odd way that you don't think he did before. The knife is flying at you. The knife is flying directly at your right eye. The knife incredibly swerves at the last possible moment, I saw through your trick. I saw through that. And not gonna say what happened, but let's just say it's complicated. Slunk, you can feel the wood shake from the forces as it stabs into the board. The metal is cold against your right cheek. The audience erupts into cheers as Barnaby Bob removes his blindfold and pumps a fist triumphantly. One of the stagehand clowns unties your wrist and helps you get your arms out of the holes. Bob takes your hands and raises it in the air victoriously. Well now, ain't he a good sport, folks? And as brave a target as I've ever had. Take a bow, Padmick Slinger. You bow to the cheering crowd, carefully keeping your eyes on Barnaby Bob. He bows as well, removing his hat with an elaborate flourish, and then he takes a slip of paper out of it. And as a volunteer of appreciation, I'd like to give our star volunteer a gift. 1 year's supply of dynamite. Use it in good health. As he hands you the coupon, the clown leans in closely to your ear and whispers, "That was the only warning you'll get, boy. You get an item, coupon for a year's supply of dynamite." Barnaby Bob waves and blows kisses to the crowd as you climb down from the stage, and then he disappears through the backstage curtain. The audience gradually disperses. Well, that's kind of useless. The wagon is old but well maintained. A brass plaque on the door reads Barnaby Bob, confirming your suspicions. Yes, peek into the window. You see Barnaby Bob sitting at a desk. He seems to be inspecting a large map, but you can't make out any details from here. You knock on the door. "Come on in," Barnaby Bob calls. "You! Here I thought I made myself perfectly clear the last time we met, and yet you knock politely and walk straight into the lion's mouth. You are extremely brave or extremely foolish." "Boy, both, I might hazard a guess. I've got some questions that need answered." "And you think I'm gonna answer them? If I didn't find you amusing, I'd have vanished you off the face of this earth for what little you know already. I appreciate that, but I can't just leave the situation unsolved. What curiosity did to the cat is gonna seem like a Sunday picnic compared to what I'll do to you if you anger me, boy. Go ahead and ask your questions, but bear in mind I already gave you a warning." Who are you? Are you still behind an MLP pad gamer? What do you mean? What? I'm sorry, I'm not getting the question. Could you explain it to me a little bit better? Thank you. Alright then, well, I'm Barnaby Bob at your service, sir, you know what I mean. And if my estimation of your intelligence was not entirely off the mark, you already know the damn answer. You are wasting my time and yours, and you have precious little. What are you doing here? Straight to the heart of the matter. Well, now I had you pegged as a clever one, so why don't you tell me? I don't know. Perhaps you've got a brain rattling in that skull of yours after all, boy. That's correct. The cows come home, as you say, and we follow them. Why? Why? Don't disappoint me about how you've impressed me, kid. Think about it. Your age-old enemy that you've been fighting since time out of mind-ups and leaves. No farewell, no postcard. Wouldn't you want to know what the hell was going on? You don't know? Oh dear. I've gone and said something I probably shouldn't have. Buddy, you are treading on some dangerously thin ice right now. I hope you are thanking your lucky stars that I consider you to be essentially insignificant. I'm on season 8. Oh, okay. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, I think I do need to catch up, actually. I will make sure and try and catch up a little bit more. That is a good point. I can hear those gears ticking in that 3-pound dog's dinner you call a brain. Now it's my turn to ask a question. How are you gonna convince me that I shouldn't just make you disappear like a fart in a tornado? Well, make it good, Padmick Slinger. Make it good, because you get one chance at this. You need me? Do I now? And what, pray tell, do I need you for? My freak show is plenty full. There aren't enough of you to be an army. You're just a scouting party. You're reconnaissance. You're here to gather information. Yes, and you can't do that effectively. Not the way you guys look. You stand out too much. You need a human scout. Don't you play games with me, Sonny Jim. You are the worst. You are talking to Barnaby Bob, Duke of Hell, and I can make your worst personal nightmares look like a choir of softly singing angels. I'm serious. I'm serious. Look, I'm not your enemy. The cows are. And if you're after the cows, not humans, then you aren't my enemy either. The enemy of my enemy? Can't imagine we'll ever be friends, Bob, but so long as it's mutually profitable, I think you can come to an agreement. You promise to leave the people of this world alone, and I'll tell you anything I find out about the cows. I gotta hand it to you, kid. You may well be the first human being to ever leave old Barley Bob speechless. Yeah, that's actually a good one. Season 2 episode, Baby Cakes. That's actually a really good episode, I remember. We got a deal? Alright, I agree. We won't make any trouble for the humans. You bring me anything of interest you find about the cows. Hell, if it's that good, I might even pay you. Good, you're a smart fella, Pat McSlinger. You better be smart enough to know what'll happen if you double-cross me. Mama didn't raise no fool. Good for her. He shows you the map on the desk. There's a location circled in red, not far from Dirtwater, marked Tannery. This'll get you started. There's an old tannery a ways south of here. I've sent a few of the fellas there already. Go have a look. You find anything worth seeing, you let me know. One thing, you are strictly undercover. I won't be telling nobody about you. And not that I could easily get a message to the ones out in the field anyway. If you need to defend yourself against them, well, so be it, and good luck to you. Alrighty then. Doesn't look like we can interact. Yes, I'll be delighted to pay you for proof of your kills. Let's see what you brought me. Give him 3 cow tongues. Well, at any rate, that's a few cows. You won't be telling any more tales. Anything else I can take you out of it on the day? Give him 4 cow tongues. Or fangs. Well, I'll have to fashion myself a necklace or something, I suppose. Anything else I can take your cows off? Cow soul fragments. Sure. Alrighty then. Well, that's lovely. I am gonna go ahead to the next location we're gonna go to. Is I would like to go back to Dirtwater. First of all, we should go. Oh, wait, I went the wrong way. No! I went the wrong way. Why I do this? Alright then, let's go. We're going off on a merry little adventure. Let's go back to Dirtwater first of all. Alrighty then. We got some cheap wine. Increases our moxie. Your booze senses alert you to the presence of rock. Confused, you move the rock, and sure enough, there's a ball of booze behind it. You got an item, cheap wine. You were afraid for a second that your booze sense had been replaced with some kind of rock sense. Good news. Alrighty then. Oh, God. Shoot. Now we have to do something in the post office over here. I forgot what it was. Hey, I need some help tracking down some missing mail. How do you mean? A mail delivery went missing on the way out to Breadwood, and I'm hunting it on behalf of their mayor. The local mail station has a bunch of route maps, but I don't know which one I need. Well, that information ain't exactly secret, but I ain't supposed to just give it out either. Delivery going missing is bad news, though. I suppose it'll be alright just this once. Wait a second. After a couple minutes, she comes back with a sheet of notepaper. Okay, so each map has a code number on it, you see? Based on the region and direction and travel. She explains how to work out the code you need. Okay, then we got a postal code sheet. Alrighty then. I think this is a good place to go ahead and wrap up the episode. As always, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below. Don't forget to support me on Patreon and Twitter and all that jazz. If you're on twitch.tv, then don't forget to follow me on Twitch, so that way you can also watch. Also, I have events going, and you can basically RSVP to one of my events, and that'll give you like an hour's notification in advance of like the live stream. Okay, anyway though, I'll see you guys then. Alright, bye-bye. What the heck is nerd mode? Okay, there's a bunch of stuff. Anyway though, see you guys in the next live stream. Bye-bye.